Welcome to Caching Waves. Today we're looking at Litecoin and we're going to be doing larger daily macro counts. My exchange I'm using is Binance. It has the most volume and my time zone is UTC -4. First of all, I wanted to talk about my proposed count off the high of May 2021. Proposed we have a complex correction WXY. If you take the W wave extended off the X, we hit the 1.382, very common target. If you take my second proposed ABC, we hit the 1-to-1 A extended off B for our C wave to pretty much the tick there, 40.81. Then off of that, we had a 3-wave pattern reversal. I have this as a double zigzag ABC. As for my targets, the Y wave was a 1.618 extension of the W wave off the X wave, a common target for our Y wave. Off of there, I have proposed a complex correction double zigzag WXY to complete. If you take the W wave extended off the X wave, we hit the 1.382, a common target for our Y wave. We also hit the 0.618, of our proposed A wave. That's the 6.18% retracement right there. So potentially going to be making new highs above this A shortly. Now, one thing I need to point out here is we do have a potential completion here, but if this is actually an ABC, we'd expect another wave down here before we make attempts to the upside. The only difference between a WXY and an ABC is 5 waves in the Y or C leg. I found early on in my trading, I kept missing trades because I kept expecting one more wave. But as you're probably aware, if you trade crypto, WXYs are very, very common. I see them everywhere. So sometimes we get that last wave down to complete the C, sometimes we don't, and it just becomes a double zigzag. I would suggest taking the trade as soon as it's available, which is the 3-wave Y. So if we come down a little lower, obviously you'll get a better entry, but it doesn't mean you can't take both trades. Well, that has... Let's move this up to 40. There we go. So where does that leave us from here? I propose we're going to make a C wave in either 5 waves, or again, if we get the common WXY, this will end up being a 3-wave pattern rather than, if it's a C, a 5-wave pattern. So if you're taking a longer term trade on the daily candles, I would suggest your stop at the low we made in June of 22 and targeting our linear target first, just because it's the closest price point of the two targets, and that's going to be at 121.41 according to Binance. If you're using a different exchange, make sure you pull the pivots yourself. Make sure you can get as close as possible to that. As you can see, if we hit the C wave there at the 1-to-1, it's about a 3-to-1 trade setup, which is an excellent trade. If we end up hitting the log target, which is up at 146.89, you get 4.5-to-1. So both trades excellent. But the important thing is this count becomes less probable as soon as we break this low. So you want to make sure your stop is that low in case we get that last swing down. And even though I don't think it's going to happen, you also have to be aware that this could actually come down lower, even make a new low, and still come up, at which point it would be a expanded flat where we make new lows and then higher highs. Basically, expanded flats tend to take the liquidity off the longs and then take them off the shorts. And it's a liquidity grab on the highs and the lows. So be aware of that option. But that's the only option where we make a new low and are still bullish. So I do believe there's potential that we get a extended C wave. I was trying to think of how this could go correctively and still be in a bear market, because we're clearly not complete. We don't have 5 waves off the bottom. So unlikely we're in a bull market. So this could end up, if we hit target, being a larger ABC and then make new highs. But the important thing to be aware of when this does happen, if this does happen, is that we trend sideways in here. And then this would just be a larger A, B, C to the upside. So we just extend out the correction much longer. As you can see, we can still be in a bear market, but still be quite bullish. Doesn't mean don't trade it. We can also make new lows after we get this target. That's possible. One other thing I considered, because I don't want to miss out if this does happen, which is why I'm going to be scalping this pretty actively, is if you look previously when we had proposed ABC, you can see this clearly a 3-wave pattern. If we consider this potentially as a fractal of a potential wave we could get, and we extend it off our low right here, you can see we have 5 waves there. We can extend up to the 2.618. Like it's a very interesting fractal that comes literally to the T of a proposed B wave in an expanded flat. What I mean by that is this could be an A wave. We get a big B wave, which comes above our proposed A wave down here, and then makes 5 waves down to complete our larger ABC. Like this, probably in a channel, we'd get a running flat, at which point then we would make new highs. So just something to consider if you see price just starting to take off exponentially. The target would be somewhere around 700, and it lines up on log scale pretty good. It's kind of non-existent in linear, but as you know, when bull markets go pretty parabolic, linear scale goes out the window and you have to rely on log scale more so. So this could potentially come here. Something I'm keeping in mind, do we just hit the 1-to-1, or do we extend like crazy before making our 5 waves down here and then going? So these are things I'm trying to be aware of. I'm going to be strict on my scalps. I'm going to be taking longer term trades in this area, which I'm not planning on selling unless something goes poorly. But as I scalp, I'm going to be taking those higher risk plays up to this area. So that's what I'm looking at, guys. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below. I will be scalping this actively, so I'm going to put up a video shortly after this one about the 15-minute count. If you want to follow along, I'll give you full disclosure of the trades I'm taking. And that's it for now. Make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.